Hello everybody and welcome back. Thank you for joining me. Now it would seem the River Severn is home to more than just one creature, as a man saw a very strange creature running towards him. And this account came in through Mark Farnell, and you'll remember Mark from one of the chats we had together the other week, and he's a witness from Tarleton to a creature himself. And this is what the gentleman had to say. My name is Simon Austin and I'm from Colford near Gloucestershire, and I have lived here all my life. I never knew where to report my encounter to, until a friend of mine told me about Mark Farnell, a friend of his who follows sightings of unexplainable creatures like Bigfoot. I work in Staunton. One morning I woke at 5 a.m. and got ready for work. As I was driving down Scholes Road, heading for the A4136 highway, keeping in mind there was very little to no traffic, I approached a left-turn junction near Stowfield Quarry. At that point, my car was hit by a small log or a branch. In shock, I looked to my right, from where the sound emitted from, and what I saw was frightening to say the least. I witnessed this creature sprinting towards me on all fours. At least that's what I thought it was, until it came closer. It was running on two legs, but low to the floor. It resembled a dog, and it had a long snout, but it was much taller and very thin. I accelerated off as fast as I could. The creature that I saw was black in colour and had frosted eyes. I've never seen anything like this before, and I hope I don't see it again. I hope this helps in some way. Now there are other accounts along by close to the quarry, 4 in all, very close together along the Severn Estuary, and then we have all the accounts along or close to the River Severn itself. I've included a number of them here for you so you can have a listen. The closest one to it is Shadowed by the Unseen, and that's in Breeden Hill. And it says, I have a story for you that was told to me by a fellow I met who goes out metal detecting at night. But he hasn't got permission from the landowner, so they access the land when it's dark, so they can remain unseen. It was in doing this that they had a really strange experience. My friend was metal detecting on Breeden Hill with his mate, and he was walking along in the dark, swinging his detector, one ear in the headphones and one ear listening to the night, listening for cars or footsteps. His mate was also detecting and was in the field alongside him. They walked the length of the field, and when they got to the end of the field, the land became woodland. He stopped at the tree line, but his mate carried on and went further into the wooded area. He thought it was a bit strange and wondered what he was doing. While he was waiting for his friend to return, he could hear his friend's footsteps in the wood and called out, "Any good in there?" or something like that. There was no answer. A bit puzzled, he turned to make his way back up to the field where they had started from, when he caught sight of his friend there. He could see the cigarette end glowing and bobbing about further up the field, and they hadn't walked up the field together at all. This was when he realised that whatever or whoever it was that had been walking alongside, swinging its arms and keeping pace with him, and then carried on into the woods, was not his mate. We also have another account from the area called the Big Hairy Thing from Deptford. And it says, the village of Deptford, England, is home to a pub called the Cider House, one of the very few still existing traditional cider houses in England. It's been in the same family for over a century and a half, and visitors to the cider house will find their drinks served to them in quaint pottery mugs, and amid a welcome atmosphere that harks back to a long time ago. More noticeable is the fact that for locals that frequent the cider house, it has a distinctly different moniker, namely the Monkey House. So the legend goes, many years ago, a regular customer charged breathlessly into the pub late one night, claiming to have fallen into dense bramble bushes after being attacked by a group of monkeys. Notably, the village of Deptford is situated very close to Eckington, where historic Eckington Bridge spans the River Avon. And at which late on weekend night in 1957, a man named Albert Micklewright was witness to what he described as being a big hairy thing from Tarzan. Now, the Worcester werewolf account came in 2016, and this as a terrified couple have drawn a sketch of a fearsome beast they claim to have seen while on a National Trust property at 1 a.m. in the Cotswolds. They also took a blurry picture of the animal dubbed the Werewolf of Worcester, because the drawing, although it's said to be a big cat, has features of a werewolf. Robert Ingram and his wife Nicola sketched what they saw, and the big cat appears to have features which resemble that of a werewolf. From their drawing, it appears to be standing upright like a humanoid creature, rather than crouching like a cat. The beast also has protruding pointed teeth and fearsome sharp cheekbones. The pair encountered what they are convinced was a black panther while driving through Croom Court, a National Trust property, at 1 a.m. last week, says Linda Godfrey. The couple said the creature weighed about 9 stone and was as tall as their car window. They were convinced the big cat was going to pounce onto their car before they sped off. Robert produced a sketch so animal expert can find out what the creature is. He told the Mail, "It was petrifying. It looked like it was on steroids. We were driving along outside the National Trust property, and there are lots of open fields around here, when suddenly I spotted something in the road ahead. It was getting dark, but I saw its eyes reflecting my headlights. We stopped the car and it was just standing there. We heard rumours about an escaped panther in the area, but we thought that was a load of nonsense. But when I saw this animal with my own eyes, I was stunned. It was enormous, far too big for a fox or a dog. It must have weighed about 9 stone, about the same as a slim adult. It looked right at us and walked up to the car. It then lowered the front of its body and looked like it was going to pounce. We just slammed the car into reverse and went as far as we could. I was so scared, I fumbled to get my phone out and take a picture, but we'd already driven quite far away. There was no way you were going to get me to go near it again to take a better picture. It was terrifying, but I did get a picture nonetheless. And the couple think the creature had escaped from a zoo. There have been dozens of claims of escaped big cats in Worcester in recent years. A spokesman for the Worcester Wildlife Trust told the Mail, "It's always a possibility that there is a panther or other big cat in our countryside, but there hasn't been any firm evidence to prove that there." Well, you should read the sightings that I get in week after week. Andy McGrath's working on the big cat sightings, but, you know, he didn't seem to think it was a cat. I'm not really sure what creature they saw. We'll just call it a creature. They saw something that was clearly down on all fours. But the drawing, which is included in an article, and I'll put the article link into the video description below, just in case you want to see the photographs. So until next time, everybody, thank you very much. Good night.